Last time on Knights of the Rolled Table, the team returned through the previously exploded portal with 70 knights and knights affiliates that were thought to be killed in the Great Betrayal, but were actually transported to an evil ship in some creepy nether realm where they suffered as boneless sacks of flesh on a ship made of bone, piloted by Sven and Robert, who were the two kobolds summoned in Season 3 by Soot and named by Maya, and they had little flower chains, and how does that even make sense? I don't... Oh, Weston guest DM'd. Alright, that makes more sense.
You all come tumbling out of the portal into the portal room. Kevin comes out, tumbling out of the portal with you. The portal room is in disarray. It looks like a bomb went off in here because a bomb went off in here. There's nobody in here at the moment, but behind you, you're able to kind of like look up and see that there's some guards stationed. There's some guards stationed too in the room at the like entrance of the tunnel that goes out to the main room, and they're looking at you fall out of the portal because they're kind of like oriented towards the portal, and it sounds like you kind of get a glimpse of there's maybe more guards out in the outer area. But that's about all any of you see before like a bunch of other bodies start falling out of the portal, and all of these people that are sort of like being launched out of the portal from this crazy like death ship that Sven and Robert were on out in wherever you were. So you kind of have to quickly get up and kind of like get out of the way, because like literally this is not a very big room that the portal is in, and like there's gonna start to be like too many bodies in it. So those people that none of you so far recognize anybody are starting to kind of like come out of this portal.
Should we start an assembly line to kind of like move people out of the room as they're like coming out?
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, you can hop up and like it would make sense to kind of like keep it moving, kind of.
Come on, move along.
There's like these two guards that are facing you, and there's a hallway behind them, because there's kind of a hallway that goes down to, as you kind of look around, there's another two guards at the end of that hallway that are more looking outwards, and that's the chamber that had this like portal on one side and the treasury room on the other side, and it's where you entered the fight with John Fletcher on one side, and then the fourth side is the zombie moat. That's the room that you can channel them out to. So you really have to actually, knowing kind of like how many bodies were there, you have to kind of like keep them moving down the hallway. They're super disoriented, looking around like, oh, what's happening? Where am I? And so you literally just have to keep them moving, or you're gonna get squished in this room.
Hey, come this way.
So Kevin jumps up and he seems to more like recognize a few of them. But he also sort of like jumps into the lead of like, all right, everyone, this way, move down the line and on the hallway, keep it moving, we'll explain everything in a moment. I have no idea what's going on. We'll explain everything in the moment. Just head this way. You're taken care of. You are safe. Where are we? Like whispering to you. What city is this?
What year is it?
All of that will be clear in just a moment. We'll have shelter for you any moment.
Has anyone seen Ben? Ben, are you here? Ben, it's one of my friends. Ben?
Keep it moving. We'll find Ben in a moment. Okay. Yes, Ben is there. Ben, well, you reunite down the hallway. You'll be fine.
Oh, hello.
I'm Ben, but I don't know you.
Sarsa, what city is this?
We're in Cambion.
Welcome to Cambion. Come on right down. We'll get you to the tourism office and the Chamber of Commerce. So that goes on for a while.
Lots of political upheaval recently. It's all coming back to me. Sorry, portal travel is really not sitting well with me these days.
So like this takes a while. This goes on for a bit. You have to launch into like literal crowd management for a little bit. Kevin seems to kind of like start to recognize a few people, not a lot of them, but like Kevin kind of recognizes some of these people, and there are a lot of people that disappeared during the betrayal that Principal Order Decius orchestrated in our podcast season 4. Like they were lost. A lot of people died at that point, and like some of them were known to be dead, really, but like apparently somehow they were all kind of trapped up in this netherworld death ship that Sven and Robert were on, and you've somehow brought them back in whatever form. And so do
they have their bones back?
They are like moving around, like they have bones and like their bodies and everything, and you can kind of see from the kinds of things that they say that they sort of have a memory of being boneless blobs in this netherworld, but it's not like firmly placed. And so they're very disoriented, but Kevin really takes charge of like getting them down, rallying you kind of collectively, like order the guards to help and kind of like rally some forces. And so after a good deal of time, they're kind of like ferried out through the fortress, and kind of some guards get organized into like, we're going to figure out what these people are going to do. And Kevin kind of like shuffles off to like manage that. I don't know. Eventually they're kind of like headed down, like don't step in the water. There's like zombie moats. They all have to like go down that way. But they're out of the area, and all of you are still there. With a couple of guards and in the portal / treasury / chamber.
Tiburon goes up to the guards once everyone's like filtered out of the area and asks them, "Do we know who threw the explosive at the portal? Do you boys know?"
We're not authorized to say, but there's a lot of we're working on it. The guards of Cambion are on the job, and do not fear, noble citizen, because all is well in hand.
Is Bartleby okay?
Who is Bartleby?
He's a little gnome.
Oh, yes, the gnome. All is well in hand. Your friend Bartleby is well. Fear not, noble citizens. The gods of Cambion have things well in hand.
Is anybody else not really buying that?
The guard looks a little bit like nervous. And Riggs shows up around that time, like looking like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Because he would have had to pass all of those nights and everything. He's kind of like backtracking past that, checking on, coming to kind of like check on you in the chambers and what's going on. And he sees, like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're back and you're safe. We didn't know what happened to you, the attack and everything. There's so much has happened since you've been gone. It's just so good to see you. Thank you.
And you are we gone?
I don't think I quite met you before there.
Oh, please! This is looking to the others. This is a friend of yours, one of your people.
Yes, this is Oliver.
Oliver Fairmore, but you can call me Oliver.
Oliver Fairmore, a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the city of Cambion. Fairmore, welcome to the city of Cambion, the realm of Cambion. Where it's a pleasure to have all of you here. It's an honor.
Riggs, how long were we gone?
From what I've heard, the explosion, it's been about a day. About this time yesterday was the attack. Bartleby is he'll be okay. He's fine. He's recovering. And as you can see, some damage was done to the portal, but I'm not sure of its condition. We'll have to check with Bartleby when he recovers.
Were any of the other head knights here? Sora McIntyre, was she here?
Riggs looks at like the rest of you for like, is this okay? kind of gesture. She's not been here in the last day, but she was here previously, and friends of Sora's are friends of ours. So anything we can do for the effort, we will support. While we're here, actually, I wanted to do something for you. Come here with me. And he walks towards the treasury, and the guards there kind of like stand aside for him, and it's like, you've all done so much for Cambion and for the realms and for everyone. The treasures here belong to the people, but I feel like some of them could be best used in your hands. So I took the liberty before yesterday's attack to set aside a few things, and if you'd use them in your work, it would be an honor to me to be able to support the cause. And he kind of goes in there and comes out with, it's a chest of stuff, and so it looks like he's kind of like grabbed a chest and put certain stuff in it. So he kind of like pulls this chest out and sets it down. He pulls out a set of pipes, like reed pipes, like instrument pipes,
like a pan flute.
Yeah, and he says, Branch, I thought this might suit you well, considering some of your work here. These are, I'm told by one of our sages, these are the pipes of the sewers. And it's not a glorious name, but they seem quite functional, and you might be able to put them to good work.
Branch sniffs them, and it's like, hey, they do not smell like sewer.
No, thankfully, no. Pipes of the sewers. Magic item, wondrous and uncommon. While you're attuned to the pipes, ordinary rats and giant rats are indifferent toward you and will not attack you unless you threaten or harm them. The pipes have 3 charges. If you play the pipes as an action, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 to 3 charges, calling forth 1 swarm of rats with each expended charge, providing that enough rats are within a half a mile of you to be called in this fashion. So they have to be actual rats, which you can play the pipes and call into a swarm to then do your bidding. You can look up text of that and find the kind of like details on that. But
fun.
It's a rat flute.
Thank you.
I get it. Pied Piper.
Also, let's see. And he picks up a bag, like a satchel, and that's just kind of like there's some other stuff under that, and he sets it on the ground and says, "Don't open that." And then he looks in there and pulls out a big like jug of. It's a translucent jug. It's like a big vial. He says, Randall, we thought you might be interested in this. This actually came pouring out of the portal. While you were gone, we captured it, and we thought you might be able to make good use of it. And this is like, it's kind of like a dark, goopy fluid, but it's changing color a little bit. Sometimes it's more of a red hue, and then it kind of like slowly transitions to more of a blue hue.
Oh wow, this is
that's
cool.
Your jug of goop.
I love it. A jug of goop. I'll add it to my other jugs of goop. Thanks.
We're not totally sure what it does, but we're fairly sure it has magical properties, and we can think of no one better than you to explore what it might do.
Okay. He's gonna open it up, and he's gonna kind of stick a finger in and kind of hold it up to like look at it like this. Does it have any reaction when he touches it?
It continues to. It doesn't react to him. It continues to shift color-wise. It actually, when you separate the little bit from the bigger mass, like the rate of color changing, it doesn't like maintain the same like red to blue to red to blue. When you take a smaller bit out, it goes kind of faster. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue.
Ooh, cool. Oh, I'm going to have to play around with this.
There's another that literally just fell out of the portal, so we thought you could examine it. But I do have another item here. And he brings out a little statue of a fly.
This is cool.
These are some very weird things that you've got here.
Yes, well, they've been in here a long time. We don't have a lot of good uses for them. So some of these things I felt like if anyone could put them to good use, it could be you. And for the things that were in the treasury, not so much the goop, but the things that are in the treasury, he has a better sense of like what they do. So this is a figurine of wondrous power. It's a statuette of it's a little statuette that's small enough to fit in a pocket or your crazy bag. It looks like a horsefly, and it can become a giant fly for up to 12 hours. And can be ridden as a mount. Once it's been used, it can't be used until 2 more days have passed.
What's it called?
The ebony fly. It's a figurine of
It's like the
wondrous
little
power.
statues. It's like the little statues of the animals that turn into real animals. And I think we've had one of these before, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the big bird, right?
Yes, which I don't think we ever used. Somebody got like a rock.
Oh, yes. It was XX has that.
Yes, XX has so much
awesome
stuff.
Shh. We need to go like mug XX and just grab all the stuff that he has.
I don't think we know where he is.
Last season. So Randall has that. He goes in there and let's see what else here. And here, Sarsa, I know you are a drinker, and I don't know if you're a smoker, but here. And he hands you a bottle that has smoke in it.
Right. Should I be concerned, or are you going to tell me what it does?
No, it's cool. Hold on. This is the ever-smoking bottle. Smoke leaks from the lead-stoppered mouth of this brass bottle, which weighs 1 pound. When you use an action to remove the stopper, a cloud of thick smoke pours out in a 60-foot radius from the bottle. The cloud's area is heavily obscured. Each minute, the bottle remains open, and within the cloud, the radius increases by 10 feet until it reaches a maximum radius of 120 feet. The cloud persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing the bottle requires you to speak its command word as an action. Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. A moderate wind can disperse the cloud.
Interesting. Thank you very much. I really quite appreciate it. Although I suppose you wouldn't want to drink this, would you?
No, it's not that kind of bottle.
That's
so.
all right. It got me tankard. And she'll take out her little refilling cup and drink from that while pocketing the bottle.
There's also this. I don't think it's magical, but and he reaches over and just grabs a bottle of wine. It looks like, and it's I understand. I'm not a wine drinker, but I understand it's a very fine vintage fit for celebrating. If you'd like this too, you've certainly earned it.
Oh, right. Well, I don't turn down a drink. Thank you, Poyo.
And finally, he turns to Tiburon. Tiburon, this is I saw this and I thought of you. I noticed such a fine fighter, and yet your weapon is of common grade there that you use, and I thought that no better hands could make use of this. And he hands you a very finely crafted scimitar, and this is a +1 scimitar called Frostbite, and once per short rest, when you attack with it, you can cast the cantrip Frostbite as part of the attack action.
Cold steel.
So write that down.
That is a fine blade, Tiburon.
Frostbite. So, like, as a part of the attack, the target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 1d6 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Excellent.
Frostbite scales. We can probably say that works. So, with your level, it would actually be 3d6 damage.
Okay, then.
Not too bad, but once per short rest.
Got it. Okay, so only once.
So he does all that, and then he sort of like carefully picks up the like bag he set down, puts it back in the chest, and picks it back up, and actually gestures to the guard, take that back in there. And he walks out with you and says, we had no idea the extent of the terrorist activities here in Cambion already. We've locked down the city as much as possible, and the guards are searching for this Lou fellow that we're confident that he was the one that bombed the gate, and we're doing all we can to secure the situation as quickly as possible. I'm so sorry for his trouble, and so relieved to see her back and unharmed.
The bomber got away. He did not blow up himself.
Well, no, we're not sure of his intention, but he tossed the bomb down that hallway, and the bulk of the blast, we feared it destroyed all of you, but apparently you were protected by the portal. Bartleby was badly injured, but he's all right. It seems that the portal absorbed much of the energy of the blast, and he was knocked around quite a bit, but he'll recover.
Can we see Bartleby?
Yes. I'm told he needs to rest, but he should be up and away tomorrow. So once you all look like you've been through a lot, so I imagine you need to rest as well.
Yes.
We should be able to check with Bartleby and get a sense of the status of the portal as well, and on the morrow.
Okay, that is good.
Sounds like an excellent plan. I know listen, I just want you all to know I'm paying back my debt that was from years ago until we find your friend. So I'm with you until then. If anything along the way that you feel necessary for me to help you out, I'm at your disposal.
Branch could certainly use a sleep.
Yes, I could go for a fine elvish wine. I don't know about the rest of you.
I could certainly make time for going to a tavern. Maybe I'll run into some of my old chums.
Yeah, let's get something to eat.
You're able to make your way out through the palace grounds that you've been in and out of a while. You kind of catch up to the bustle of trying to figure out what to do with all these kind of new people, and looks like they're being kind of like shuffled into maybe some like barracks or sleeping quarters or something to kind of like get sorted out.
Oliver might kind of step up and talk to Riggs and say, hey, maybe you can talk to members of the town, and just like if people can offer their homes or, their... Oh,
yes, absolutely. I spoke to Kevin, and he's intent on moving them off to other locations, but as long as they need a bed, they won't want for anything here. I promise you that. We'll get that organized, and the people of Cambion will step up and care for them.
Thank you, Riggs. And where is Kevin?
I think he went in there. And he points off to kind of like the barracks area, which is kind of like on the side of one of the courtyards, outer courtyards you pass through, where there's kind of like some of these refugees sort of shuffling around. So
Oliver's going to just turn around and walk into the little barracks area.
Yeah, you're able to kind of like move in there with authority, kind of like there's a certain like air of somebody who like is walking like they know where they're going. People kind of like get out of the way, and Oliver definitely has that. So he's able to kind of like walk right in, even past some guards who just kind of like, he looks like he should be there. And you sort of like make your way in, and you see Kevin kind of talking to some of the refugees and sort of making preparations. It looks like he kind of like sees you out of the side of his eye and sort of like nods. You see him get sort of like, well, I don't know what this is about. Sort of nerves a little bit when he sees you.
Is anybody with me, or other people went their own way?
I think when you turned around, we probably all, at least Branch would have been like, hey, should we go with him? And then follow the lead of the other people. Tiburon, Sarsa, what do you think?
I thought we were going to the pub.
I
Branch
prefer to
also
get the
thought
drink
this.
first.
So Oliver will kind of, as he's walking, he turns around and says, if you'd like, I can meet you there. I have business to talk to Kevin McIntyre with.
Branch gives you a thumbs up.
All right, so they head off towards the old singing unicorn, and you go in, meet up with Kevin. Let's take that.
Are you unharmed?
Well, yes, I'm fine. A little banged up from the journey, and but I'm as well as any of these people are. And are you unharmed?
I'm fine.
Good. Well, I'm busy here, and it's good to see you. It's good to see you back here in the realms, and we've missed you.
You don't have to put on false airs with me, Kevin. I know that I have been gone for quite some time, and I know that I left in not the best of terms, and I'm sure that you share sentiments of people that were not happy when I left.
Well, it's not false airs that we've missed you. We've missed you very much. You've been gone a long time, and I know for you it's just a blink of an eye, but they're important years for us. Sora's missed you especially, and there's work to be done there. There's things to be
accounted for. But you need to see her. She needs to see you. I know it'll be hard, but it would be good for you both.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. I knew coming back and honoring this debt might have our paths cross, but well, I suppose if it happens, it will happen.
Sir, with all due respect, how could not seeing Sora be anything of use to anyone? We're better together. You're better as a family.
I will speak with my daughter when I am ready.
Fine.
And he turns out, goes to the tavern.
So Kevin continues to engage with the bustle, and Oliver catches out. So we'll join the rest of you kind of like walking out. You
Surprise.
kind of like...
It's all connected.
You walk out into the main square, and it is very quiet out there. There's nothing going on. It's kind of like midday-ish, maybe a little bit later. There's like nobody around. There's some guards walking around, kind of like one area, sort of doing the perimeter, but not much going on. You walk across to the Singing Unicorn, and you walk in there, and there's also like nobody in there. Cletus is in there just kind of like cleaning up, looking kind of like frustrated, and like, oh, hi. Oh, you're back. Good to see y'all. Come on in. There's plenty of seats available if you want some food or drink.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, cold fries.
Well, it's been kind of a strange happening of events, so I think we're all going to need at least a little bit of whiskey, perhaps a little bit of stew. Who feels like playing some cards? I don't know. Let's get crazy.
All right, well, make yourself at home. There's nobody else here. Randall, do you want me to just serve you the fries without cooking them, or should I warm them up and then let them cool?
Or if there were some earlier that you're throwing in the trash, that's good too.
There's nothing. I've not cooked a single meal all day.
All right, I'll take them hot and let them cool on my own.
All right. So she kind of like goes into the back to rustle up some food.
Is it weird that there is no one here?
I agree, Branch. Very odd.
No, it's just a slow day.
Hey, Randall,
There's nothing amiss.
is this normal? You are from here.
Well, it's much preferred.
It's not.
It's not normal, but it's nice. Randall could actually be at the bar.
It's a little bit later than what was presumably yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, when all of you were in here around lunchtime, and it wasn't like packed, but there was people having lunch and a few drinks and things. So like it definitely strikes you based on what you've seen of like just this square and this restaurant. It strikes everybody as like, this is oddly empty. Randall's perception of that is whatever Randall's angle on it. But
Sarsa, you have a good relationship with Cletus. Maybe you could ask what is happening.
Sure, I could ask and inquire. I mean, but I don't want to be rude. I mean, sometimes people just don't want to frequent a certain establishment. You know, maybe they've got a weak pour. But if you're that concerned, I can ask about it.
she comes out relatively quickly after a couple of minutes with some bowls of stew and some fries. Regular temperature.
If I could be a little bit of a nosy Nancy, as it were, it seems a wee mite less lively in here than it has been in evening or adventures past. Is something going on that we should maybe be aware of? What do you reckon is the cause of all that?
Well, yeah, the guards have locked down the whole city. Everybody's confined to their residences except for official business due to the terrorist attacks, and they're looking for this crazy Lou fella, and nobody's allowed out, which pretty much wrecks my whole business day. And we're all
Right.
stuck in here.
Makes sense.
Oliver walks in around this time, and
Yeah.
You said that
I suppose that means I'll have to drink more then.
You said that someone's out there. This is the person that supposedly bombed the teleportation room. This crazy Lou, right? I remember us discussing him before.
They didn't tell us any details about what was bombed. Just something in the palace. We heard the explosion.
Something was
a bit
bombed.
from out here. Yeah.
I'm telling you now.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay. What?
Something in the palace.
Right, that's what we heard. Okay.
Hey,
Well, there's a lot of hubbub about that. Nobody's allowed to go out for at least today. Guards we're all around going door to door looking for this fella, and nobody's drinking, nobody's eating, nobody's working. Non-essential work. So here we are. Y'all want some ale?
We were
Aye.
yes.
I would like an elvish wine if you have any.
Ew! Look at you, fancy with the elvish wine. Yeah, let me take a look. Let me take a look in the back.
Have you seen my ears?
You know, Oliver, I do have a very nice vintage here that I'd be happy to share with you, just as a wee token of gratitude, since you've been so helpful to us.
Well, that's very kind of you, Sarsa.
You actually you were there when Riggs was handing stuff out, and so you actually noticed Sarsa was sure, wine's wine. I don't know Sarsa's level of how much of a wine connoisseur she is, but
she would drink $2 Chuck if Trader Joe's was a thing in the realms.
Yeah. Oliver, I think if you have a sense of elvish wine, you recognize right away, oh my gosh, that is the good stuff, and you were kind of appalled and nervous that Sarsa kind of took a look at it and was like, all right, thanks, because that is a very nice elvish wine.
This is quite the find. This is I don't know anything about wine in real life, so I'm just trying to figure
it's
out
made from grapes, reds
well,
or
no,
whites.
I mean like wine terminology,
It's got nice legs.
It's got a great nose.
Hold on,
Notes of
a great
Oh,
year.
this is a deep red from Elderlock. It's they don't make many of these, and once a year they make a bottle like this, and it's sent away to on special order. Just having one of these this must be worth several hundred gold by itself.
You know, we could sell it so we could get more whiskey.
Cletus comes back with, all right, here you go. I found this, and hope it's to your liking. And it's not open, but it is. She sets it down in front of you, and it is the $2 Chuck of the Elvish wine universe.
So Oliver will just say, "Thank you, but actually, do you have any just goblets? Something we can put the wine in? I forgot that Sarsa actually had something that we acquired."
Oh yeah, sure. And she gets 2
Is there
wine
a
glasses.
corkage fee for this tavern?
Not for you all, not today.
Well, would you join us, seeing that it's a slow night and you've been so helpful?
Sure. Much obliged.
Very good, my lady. So Oliver will kind of take the lead and kind of uncork. He'll smell the cork and he'll kind of pour it in and, tilt the glass and kind of swish it around. And he does all the things that a little wine connoisseur, oh yes, it's a good body.
Well, you're supposed to put it in your mouth. I don't know why you're swirling it around like that. It's not going to do anything out there.
The air that helps it breathe. You have to get some air in it and aerate it a little bit. It really helps to. Yes, I can smell some honey. Some there's a faint hint of asparagus.
Asparagus.
There may be a slight.
That's not good.
The
I
wood
don't
barrel-
know anything about
The
wine.
wood
That's not
barrel
good.
that they made this in, it smells like maybe an oak or perhaps a maple. I think I smell. I think I smell maybe some almond butter. Maybe a faint bit of butterscotch.
Sarsa, there's wine in front of you and Cletus while he's doing all of this. Are you waiting politely or what are you doing with your situation?
I'm drinking. Sarsa came to drink.
So
It takes
Oliver
Oliver about 15 minutes before he drinks anything. He's just swirling it around.
She would probably just dive into the $2 Chuck because she did offer to share the good stuff, but she doesn't care.
I think definitely 3 glasses were poured for you, Cletus, and Oliver, and anybody else that wanted wine, because Cletus also already brought some ale. So the first round is definitely this very fine wine that Oliver is.
And Oliver's really into it. And he's kind of he's looking over at Tiburon and Randall, and he's kind of looking at him and then what they do is they ferment it and they put it in a sealed barrel, you see, and then they put it in and let it sit for quite a while. And it's a fine aging.
Oh, kind of like I let this moldy bread I had sit in this vinegar in my jar.
Quite right, Randall. That's the process is similar. It's the fermentation of the full-bodied wine is a complicated process. You know, I worked in a winery for a bit when I was in seclusion, and I learned quite a bit about tasting.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
at that point, cheers.
Cheers. He opens up his jar and drinks his bread vinegar water.
Are you sure you don't want to try this? It's very good. Very good.
Branch will try.
Sure, I'll try some. Cheers,
He
Branch.
pours a glass for Randall and for Branch. And does Tiburon want some too?
Tiburon will not take any.
Everybody roll a d20 plus 5 for how much
Ooh.
your experience of this wine.
Oh God.
Nice. D20 plus 5. I got 18.
Branch rolled an 8.
10.
Sarsa.
12.
So appropriately, for Oliver, it is like as fine could be, just everything. And everybody else is like, tastes like wine. Cletus is actually like very impressed and like by far the most attuned to everything you were saying and actually like understanding a little bit of kind of like what you're describing. Everybody else kind of like downs it and was like, meh.
It is not mossy enough for Branch.
And Oliver kind of just turns to Tiburon and he says, "My boy, I noticed that your fighting style is quite refined and seems like you are good with your trident and sword, perhaps. Perhaps I could. I didn't know that maybe you're favoring one arm more than another. Perhaps I could teach you a few things if you would be open to it."
Things such as what?
Well, I know of a couple of maneuvers that might allow you to do other things on your attacks, where you could attack more targets simultaneously, perhaps improve your speed, your reaction time. It wouldn't take long, perhaps just a brief skirmish outside.
You're saying you want to spar?
Yes, if you're up for it.
All right. Tiburon starts standing up. All right, then. Challenge is a challenge.
Little stool noise. Tiburon and I are going to step outside and fight. A friendly sparring match, but just for a bit. Continue a conversation.
Or we could take bets and we could all go outside and watch them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing we're going to do. We're going to do that.
Okay.
All right, I got 5-1 on Oliver, Trance, and Tiburon. Sorry, Tiburon, love you, but this guy's been
Sarsa.
around.
Seriously, Sarsa.
A bet is a bet.
Those odds.
Listen, I'll buy you a pint with my winnings.
So after eating a little bit of stew and some ale, and you all head out there and into the square, which is still very like open, and there's some guards there that like you notice start to like take notice and move towards you, but actually anybody that's kind of like paying attention to that and tuning to that, Riggs steps out of the palace behind them and kind of like calls them back. It's like far on the other side of the square, so you really can't hear much, but he kind of like calls them back and says something to them and gestures to you, and you see them kind of like stand down and kind of like get a message of like, no, it doesn't apply to those people. So those guards just end up, and Riggs sticks around, they end up just kind of like watching this unfold with a similar level of attention to like, all right, let's see what happens.
Oliver will take off his kind of larger coat, and he has a little he's got like a long white shirt on with a vest, like a doublet underneath that's got like little buttons that goes up, kind of formal, and he turns to Tiburon and says, so should we spar with fisticuffs, or would you like to use blades?
My preference is always weaponed, but I've gotten into a few fisticuffs in a couple ports, so open to either option.
If you think it would be more beneficial to use weapons in your education, then we can do that.
Would you like scars or bruises, I guess is the question.
Only bruises of your moral of your morality of when you lose. It's
Sure.
how you want to learn is up to you. So we can stick with weapons.
Sarsa has somehow managed to procure popcorn at this point and is just very attentively watching.
We will fight and but you can use weapons. How you don't hold back. If I see something that I think might have an opportunity, then we'll point it out, maybe as we go. But whenever you're ready.
All right, then. Give me a moment. I've been recently melted. And Tiburon just starts doing a couple stretches, couple moving the neck around,
Yeah.
just popping each shoulder individually, flipping the scimitar and the short sword a couple times, especially with the new scimitar, just kind of getting an idea of like the weight of that, what that feels like.
I don't know how like messed up everybody is, but for the like sitting down for a while and eating some stew and resting for a minute, go ahead and credit yourself a short rest if that recovers anything or give you some hit dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to count us off?
So Oliver will kind of like hold his. He's got his staff. He's just got a staff, and the pike staff that he has, and he's gonna kind of take this like defensive pose where the staff is behind him, and he kind of like puts an arm up like this, like on his chest, on his shoulder, kind of raises his chin up a little bit, like "Come at me."
Cletus is like leaning in the doorway of the tavern. She's like, "I'll get you started. 3, 2, 1, go."
All right.
Sarsa passes some popcorn to Cletus.
She eats it.
Oliver doesn't move. He just stands there.
All right, we're doing some PvP, it sounds like, so go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
4.
23.
Yay.
So Oliver has the jump, but he doesn't need to use it.
Oliver is going to just stand there and wait. I'm using patient defense.
All right.
I'm using a key point for patient defense. So he just kind of stands there, takes a deep breath, and exhales.
Both of you do that, and it just stays.
Basically defending each other.
Minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think Tiburon's just going to go for a very straightforward, like, chopping strike at him. Not necessarily a lot of force, just kind of enough that it's like it's a hit if it hits, but not overcommitted.
With your +1 longsword?
With the +1
or the new
scimitar.
fancy scimitar?
The scimitar, baby.
Roll it.
Roll one. Ha! That's a nat 1, baby.
Oh!
Sarsa's gonna win that money.
Chris, I'll let you narrate. You have complete control of this situation. I'll let you narrate how that strike goes.
Okay. He's swinging with the scimitar. Oliver just kind of slightly turns his shoulder, and it goes like right in front of his face, down the vertical axis of his body, right in front of him, and it just kind of gets stuck right in the sand and dirt right in front of him, like scimitar. and Oliver's like, "Good force, but perhaps a little too hasty." And he'll use his foot to kick up the scimitar and kind of dislodge it and take a step backwards. And he says, "Try again."
Sarsa calls out, "Don't worry, Tiburon, I'll buy you a drink with my winnings."
We'll see if you get those winnings, Sarsa. And Tiburon, pride wounded, just ever so slightly, takes a step back.
So then it's Oliver's turn again. He could patient defense again, or yeah.
Yeah, Oliver is going to continue to just stand there and look at him and just wait for him to make a move. I kind of unstuck his scimitar and took a step back 5 feet and just kind of I'm just waiting.
Okay. Now Tiburon will do a sort of low strike, so kind of aiming for like the legs, and see if that does anything for him.
Okay.
24.
So with patient defense, Zach, to take the dodge action as a bonus action on your turn. So roll again, and then we're going to take the lower one.
All right. 20 is the lower one.
20 is my AC.
Aha. Is that a hit?
So I'll say Oliver does it like another step back, but it hits his calf muscle, his kind of like shin, where his boots are, and it kind of like cuts into his leg a little bit. He's like, good. That was a better angle.
May have preferred the bruises.
We'll see. Is that all your? That's your turn?
Yeah, I mean, we're sparring. I don't think I'm gonna go for like 3 attacks on you.
Yeah, we can just go back. Okay, we can go back and forth. So Oliver will say, "But you did get close to me, and that might be your first error." I'm going to use one of my superiority dice to do what's called a deft strike, and what he does is it's actually a key point. This is part of my Kensei monk. At that point, Oliver is going to put his pike behind his back, and with his left hand, he's going to reach out and kind of be like, and sort of with 2 fingers, kind of punch into Tiburon's chest and like neck muscle, and he's going to attempt a stunning strike. So I need you to make a con save.
Save. Okay.
Wait, before you tell me what it is, I have to actually attack you, and if I hit, then you make a con save. So let me do.
Okay.
I'm going to do 2 attacks. 27.
27 hits.
Okay. So now, what was your con save?
Con save was 16.
Ooh. Okay. Well, mine was DC 17.
Oh, gonna get stunned.
So Tiburon gets hit, and then all of a sudden you feel your muscles seize up, and you can't move, and you just kind of like have like total rictus of your muscles and can't move at all for a turn until the end of my next turn. So then Oliver's going to say, see, when you have control of the other person, you can take advantage of when they think they are in the lead. But then that is when you can take advantage of their arrogance. Not saying that you're arrogant, my boy. I'm just saying that perhaps that it's like, but I can do this. And he's going to take the pole and kind of sweep and sweep his legs. I'll do another attack.
Oliver is like lecturing Tiburon and the crowd in general with like the exact same tone that he was speaking about the wine. It's the same, like,
yeah, it's very,
you gotta
very
appreciate it. This is an art.
So 23 to hit, and he will take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And then he sweeps his legs from the front so that Tiburon just kind of falls over straight forward, like in a kind of a stunned state, face down in the ground, and he kind of whips around the pole and smacks his back with the flat side of the pole. 31 to hit. He takes 15 points of bludgeoning damage. And I imagine from the crowd, maybe there's some like, ooh, or
Ooh.
like,
Ooh.
The guards over on the far side exchanged some money. It looks like they also took some lines.
Sarsa
So
says, Tiburon, what's your drink of choice, boyo?
Am I unstunned yet?
Oliver will take a step back, and then you feel yourself get control of your muscles again.
Answer any time. It's fine.
It's one of those sparring matches. All right.
You see, you got too close to me. You know that I can take advantage of you from close combat. So what will you do?
I guess I got no choice but to get even closer. And now Tiburon will go for 3 attacks on Oliver.
Here we go.
We got an 18, a 20, and
20 hits.
a 19.
20 will hit. The other 2 miss. So
Got it.
Oliver just does kind of like a and then where do you hit? Where are you aiming?
Let's go for torso.
Torso? Okay, yeah. So torso hit. Oh,
I'm not going to do no cold damage on this one. 13 damage.
very good. Using a multi-attack maneuver is a very excellent strategy. Oliver kind of winces a little bit, like, he wasn't prepared for that kind of. Right, sorry, I've just lost my. And do you move at all, or are you just going to stay close?
Oh, he's going to stay close.
So I'm going to do a maneuver called Agile Parry, and I'm holding my weapon, but I'm going to use an unarmed strike, and I get +2 to my AC until the start of my next turn. So now I'm not going to use my weapon, you see, but I can still attack, even though you think I'm going to swing with this, but actually, and he just does like a little hand chop to your windpipe, just an unarmed strike. And that's going to be a 26 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
So you'll take 8 points bludgeoning damage to your throat. Once he does that, he'll use another attack with the staff, saying, now that you've lost your ability to breathe, and he'll sweep your legs again. 25 to hit.
That hits.
And you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Falling prone.
Oh, my back. Oh.
Y'all about done out there? Beating each other senseless? You come inside and have some more wine.
Well, I've got a few more things to teach him. Depends on how quickly he'll learn.
Tiburon, you learned good enough yet, or you won't go a little bit more?
I'm learning a lot, but there's space for more. Oh.
All right.
And Tiburon gets himself up from prone. I'm gonna need some reminding. What were you trying to teach me here? My head's just not retaining stuff very good right now.
You are a fighter. You have the ability to not just use your weapon, but the weapon is part of you. And it means you are the weapon. Your fist, your arms, your legs, your head, everything is the weapon. Don't just rely on the weapon itself. Take advantage of all of you. Make it seem like you're going to use your sword, but then use something else.
All right. I get that. Am I still pretty close to Oliver?
Yeah. He didn't go too far back.
All right, great. Tiburon's gonna throw down his scimitar and just attempt to punch Oliver multiple times with all the attacks, and then I'll take an action surge and do another set of 3 attacks.
Nice.
So I'm literally trying to beat him up.
So
6 attacks you're gonna do?
Yeah, 6
right.
attacks.
Get them going.
This is it. If I get hit after this one, I'm not coming back up. So I gotta go for it. All right. All right. 18. 26.
There you go.
Crit. 15. 19. 22. Is that 5 or 6?
I think that was 6.
That was
right?
5.
Okay.
That was 5. Okay. And last one was 15 again.
Okay,
I
so
think
you hit
that's
3
3
times.
hits
One of
out
them was a
6.
one of them
And
was
one of them's a crit.
one of them was a crit.
But unarmed.
Yeah.
I forget. Is one unarmed 1d4?
I think it's like 1 plus your strength modifier, but it might be different.
That actually sounds right.
Yeah, it's 1 plus your strength mod.
So the 2 regular attacks would be 12, and then the one that doubles, does it double with the modifier?
I mean, that would mean usually you double the dice, and there's not a dice. So we'll just say it. We'll just see how double the damage.
Okay. Two 12 punches and 1 24 punches. So we'll call that one the old left hook.
So 36 total.
Yep.
Well done. That's very good. Jolly good. Well, good show. That's more like it. It's putting the old moxie into the body, but You must not. And Oliver's actually winded. This is kind of like he was sort of prepared, like he's like teaching, but he's like, and then you must. he's kind of hurt.
I'm ready to learn. Lay it on me.
Two more things I wanted to teach you. So you've learned about using your body, but you also have to use your mind. So try, just as a bit of a different tactic, pick up your sword and try throwing it at me. Go ahead, throw your sword at me.
This is a request. All right then.
Sometimes you have to think differently. You might not be able to attack up close, but you might have to throw your weapon. So go ahead and let me show you something else.
Tiburon picks up his scimitar and his short sword. He's going to toss the short sword since the scimitar he just got and he doesn't want to chip it.
All right, go ahead and make a ranged attack.
Is that dex instead of strength, right?
Yeah, no, it can still be strength.
Oh, it can still be strength?
Throwing a thing,
okay,
yeah.
Then 26.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to use my reaction to deflect missiles with a ranged. I can deflect a ranged weapon attack. So then the damage that I take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus 15. So go ahead and roll the damage because that does hit.
That is 15 damage.
I rolled a 2, but because I have a very high dexterity, and I have a plus 15, so it reduces the damage. So you throw it, and he just catches it.
Oh.
You can use your opponent's weapons if they are thrown at you. And then, with momentum, he kind of swings it around, and I'm going to use a key point to make a range attack with his sword to throw at him. And it's going to be a 21 to hit.
Nope.
21 hits?
Want to try to catch it?
You can try to catch it if you want.
Can I try and catch it? What do I roll for that?
Because I'm teaching you. So roll damage was the damage was 5, which is terrible. I rolled a 1. Mm-hmm. It's your dex plus your class level.
Okay.
So what's your dex modifier?
2.
Plus what level fighter are you?
11.
So you reduce it, so you catch it.
Nice. But how I catch it is Tiburon goes to catch it with his hand, but his palm is a little too outstretched, so the sword goes to the palm of his hand. But he doesn't immediately notice that because of all the adrenaline, so he's like, ha ha! Got it! But everyone else can see the sword sticking out from the back.
2 points of piercing damage. And you have so now if you want to throw it, you can.
Throw it back at you?
You can throw it back and try to hit me with another range attack.
All right. Well, I think people are going to be in the splash zone, but I think Tiburon would be amped up enough that he wants to try that. So he's going to toss back the sword that's partly impaled through his hand. Yeah.
And you can make it with advantage since Oliver was very impressed and is not expecting you to throw it back.
So that is a 20.
That will hit. It's like, well done. Oliver did not try to catch it. It just kind of goes in the side of his shoulder. He just well done. I wasn't expecting you to do that part of it, but that is very good. Well done, Tiburon.
Fantastic lesson.
And he throws down the sword. And there's one more. That's smart.
I think you're good. That's good. I think you boys are good. There's holes in each of you. You're going to be bleeding all over the woodwork. Why don't you come on in now?
All right. Well, we can maybe teach each other things later. And well done. And he gives him the old kind of forearm brace,
forearm clasp, my bloody hand.
Blood is unintentionally exchanged.
Very good. Yes. I'm very proud of you. And so can I say, Zach, that I've taught him the effect, the maneuver of deflect missiles?
Yeah, I think that's good. I was thinking that like he could be part way towards like a martial feat or something, but you were definitely focusing on monk abilities, and I don't know if there's like a monk feat. So like, yeah, I like that. I think just with this, we could give him that deflect missiles ability.
Yeah, there is like a gloves of missile snaring or something. So I mean, if you want to like, you could even kind of use that like an item ability and just say like you have that ability now.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. Well done. Let's get a drink. Let's get another glass of fine-bodied wine.
No, hold on, right there. Hang on, let me get some rags.
Oh, right.
He goes in, comes up, wraps, hands one to Tiburon, and like sticks one to Oliver's shoulders. Like, all right, try not to drip. Come on back in.
Yes.
Hello, Knights of the Roll Table, and thank you so much for listening to another episode. It is great to have you. Sorry, this one is late, as I say traditionally in all of my announcements for this season. I was on vacation for a little while, and then I came back, and then it turns out there's only one electrical breaker that operates the whole back of my house, including where the computer is, and a refrigerator, and a freezer, and an air conditioner, and an air fryer, and some other things. So that turned out to be a problem we had to have fixed, and now I'm back to editing, and here's your episode. Not too much to say for today other than thanks for listening. We just crossed a milestone, 50,000 downloads, and that's awesome. Thank you for every single one of them that you've done, and as always, if you can keep telling your friends, telling other people who are D&D listeners, podcast listeners, any YouTube D&D watchers, those are people who might be interested in checking things out. So thanks for spreading the word. Thanks for leaving ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts and wherever else. We had somebody seek us out recently on Facebook because they said they listen on Google Play and there's not really a place to leave a review, and so we chatted to them. That was Randolph Reed II. Appreciate you reaching out and saying thank you. Randolph said, Knights of the Roll Table is an awesome family-friendly D&D podcast, great for road trips or daily dives. Just drive. Says daily dives, but I think he's meant daily drives to school. The characters are whimsical and memorable, especially Branch, Maya, and XX Bloody Heart. Appropriate for all ages. It's a great D&D substitute between sessions. Appreciate it, Randolph. Thanks for reaching out. Hope you're continuing to listen on your drives and the whole family's enjoying. So to Randolph and the whole family and everybody else, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and make life an adventure.
Sarsa, do you think you might be able to provide a little bit of healing?
Right, I suppose so. And Sarsa places her hands on them and casts some healing. I'll let you know what it...
So much better.
I feel like Sarsa and Randall and Branch would have been passing the very expensive bottle of wine back and forth between each other throughout this entire event.
Yeah, for sure.
With like quizzical looks on their faces.
Yeah.
Just like, huh?
So you go to get your full-bodied wine, and the bottle is just like dregs.
Oh no!
Oops.
Yeah, she's gonna cast Cure Wounds as a level 2 on both of you. So that'll be 2d8.
I went down about 60 hit points.
Plus 9, so that'll be 17. You each heal for 17.
Yay.
How much were you down, Lowe's?
Well, I healed up because of the short rest, but you got me down to like 16 hit points. So definitely if you went for another full strike, I might have got down.
Yeah. Nice. All right, that was my little adventure.
It's definitely time for a rest. I don't know if anybody wants to talk a little bit about like plans for the next day or anything you might want to do, but other than that, I think Sarsa just hands Tiburon a pint of whiskey because that's her go-to.
And she's like, here, it'll help the sting of defeat go down a little bit easier.
Defeat? You think I lost? I won. Knowledge is the true victory, you see.
So wise, so smart.
Well, that's cute, but don't look down your nose at a gift here, boyo.
He drinks.
Sarsa is single-handedly destroying the livers of the realm. A pint of whiskey. Every time you say that, I'm just like, wow.
Tiburon's a big guy.
So y'all turn in, patch up, rest. It's early in the day, but you're plenty banged up and tired. Been through some crazy stuff since your last long rest. That like you turn in a little bit early and get a long rest. Wake up with the dawn. Still nobody in there in the morning as you kind of like work your way down, have some breakfast, and get served by Cletus. And there's a question of what to do with the day. So guards are out looking for Crazy Lou. You don't really have a lead on that, especially. There is this map to a kind of like cave out in the mountain that some dwarf prospector went to a while back. So there was that cave, and that was just sort of like a lead on a little bit more sense of like what sort of like entries into the mountains there might not be. So like you could definitely not. It's not we're going there into the lair kind of territory. It's we're exploring where a lair might sort of be kind of thing. So that's an option. And, you know, you have various friends and connections in Cambion in the forest and different people if anybody wanted to do that. Bartleby is out there. Riggs said that, like, you should be able to meet with Bartleby. He should be up and around in the morning. So those are kind of, like, options on the table.
Before heading out or doing too much, Randall wants to play with that goop that he got. And so he wants to, like, kind of seeing that, like, separating some of it does different things. He wants to, like, get like a little tiny glass from the bar or like see what happens like when he puts it into another, splits it in half into two even jars, and then try seeing what happens if he puts it all back and then puts a little bit in a tiny one and then like split it, like just kind of put it in a bunch of different things and see what happens.
Yeah, the pace of the red blue shift just sort of like speeds up kind of proportionately to the amount of fluid that's there. So if you separate it into little shot glasses, they're all kind of like flashing pretty quickly. If you pour the shot glasses back together, it kind of like slows down and calms a little bit more.
As a, what's that called? As an alchemist. Yeah, as an alchemist. Is this a trait that like he's seen in other things, or like does that indicate any sort of alchemical property or anything like that?
You've not seen anything specifically like that. Kind of like looking at the quality of it, and like it seems like it's a magical interaction in the fluid, not so much something that's like natural or chemicals are changing. So you feel like this might be just magic infused in there, whether, I mean, Randall is Randall. He's definitely thinking like, what would happen if I drink this?
Yeah.
Would it be real bad or just a little bit bad, or could it be good? Like what might happen here? Maybe I can give it to somebody else. He's definitely in that mindset. It smells a little bit different to you, the red and the blue shift. Like it actually smells a little bit.
Like when it's red, it smells like raspberries, and then when it's blue, it smells like blueberries.
You can't quite place it, but like kind of like that. Yeah. Both of them sort of like remind you of like, The red is a little bit more kind of like umami smell, and the blue is a little bit more like citrusy.
Gotcha, I gotcha. He'll take a little bit, and he'll like put it like on the back of his hand, like a little bit on his skin, and see if it does anything, if it touches his skin.
You want to put it on when it's red or blue?
Blue.
All right, so you smear it on your hand while it's blue, and your arm shrinks one size.
Oh no! He's gonna wait till it turns red and then put some red on it.
Yeah, and it restores when you do that. Back to regular.
He's gonna wait till it's red again and put some red on his hand.
Your arm gets bigger, one size proportionately. So it's now the arm of a. Is Randall small or is he medium creature?
He's medium.
Yeah, so like, and now it's the arm of a large creature, and it's kind of like heavy and hard to move.
Okay. Well, that's cool. And like, how fast?
I'm glad that arm is the appendage for doing this.
Okay, relax. And like, what is the time of like the big jar when it's all together? How long is it like taking to shift? Is it like moments? Is it like a minute?
It's like a slow transition of 10 seconds. So in the big jar, like you've got much better sense. So the issue, kind of like recognizing, blue shrinks, red enlarges. In a small amount, you wouldn't have as much control of for sure. You'd definitely try to like, if you were trying to enlarge something, need to like time it.
Yeah,
because you could accidentally do it the other way. But like in the bigger amount, it's pretty easy to kind of grab red or blue.
If he's gonna like put it like on like a spoon or something, and like it doesn't work on like an object.
Yes, because you would have figured that out earlier. So yes, non-living objects doesn't seem to affect.
Okay, he's gonna find like a little like bug or something.
There's as you look around for bugs, there's an alarming number of cockroaches around.
Oh, good. We're gonna have giant, super strong, immortal cockroaches now.
All right, let me get one of these guys. He's gonna grab one, and he's gonna wait till
Hey, no, don't do that.
like, quiet you. I'll eat you. And then he's gonna wait till it turns red, and he's gonna go, "This is for your own good." And he's gonna splat some on one of the cockroaches.
The cockroach is one size bigger.
Like a cat size.
Pretty much, I guess. Cockroaches are probably tiny, so it becomes a small creature, I think.
Whoa, buddy, whoa. And he's gonna kind of like try and get a rope out and like tie a little leash around him real quick.
Give me a dex check.
Can it be animal handling?
Sure.
Is this at night or is this in the morning that all this is going down?
Early morning.
Okay.
All right, 6 for animal handling.
Nope. That giant super cockroach is out of your hands and out the door.
Like it leaves?
Yes. You can try to chase it, but it like gets down, crawls, and scurries. The door's not open, but it like manages to scurry under the door, even though it doesn't look like there's enough room to do that, and it's gone.
I'm gonna like kind of wait a minute and see like do I hear like people shouting in terror?
There's nobody. It's quiet out there, so your sense is that there's nobody out there to shout.
He says, that was a close one. And he's gonna pick up another cockroach.
Oh God.
And he's gonna pre-tie something around it. He's gonna like pre-tie a little thing around it. Put it on. And then he's
got a little harness on it.
Yeah, he's got a little harness, and he's gonna take another scoop and go and put it on.
Of red or blue?
Red.
It gets big.
Does it stay on its leash?
Well, so like, how are you? Are you tying the harness with the anticipation that it's going to grow into it, or how is that working?
Yeah.
Roll sleight of hand for like being able to set that up properly.
Okay.
Sleight of hand or survival for not smithing.
16.
Do a dex check for super cockroach. I'm gonna have to stat these out eventually. This is a fully improvised subplot. So I don't have a dex modifier for these cockroaches, but I rolled a 14. And I feel like it's at least 2. So like I would say that's roughly a tie. So like you're able, it doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite like grow into it, but you're able to keep a hold of it, and you're kind of like trying to get the harness as you envision it into place. You still have a hold of this second now giant cockroach.
All right, cool. I'm gonna take it. All right, let's go find your friend, and then we're gonna go for a walk. And we're gonna go and leave, and then we're gonna go walk and see if we can find his friend. All
right. So you go out the door with your little cockroach, which does not want to be in a wide open, sunny public square. So it's really trying to like keep to the very edge of the building and like climb up the walls and stuff, which gives you a decent idea of maybe where the other one went. You got to kind of like follow that instinct if you want to find the first one. I feel like Randall heads off to do that for a while. What's everybody else up to?
Tiburon's very tired and hungover, so he mildly notices that stuff going on, and he's just like, too early. It's too early.
Sarsa and Branch, is there anything you want to cover since we haven't had some direct character exploration for either of you?
I think Sarsa is kind of okay with just like laying low and hanging back. There's not really anything in particular that I think she feels terribly drawn to, except for making fun of Tiburon. Yeah, she kind of, oddly enough, she seems a little bit not like drunker than normal, but like she's definitely, I think, medicating a little bit with the malaise, but putting on a good front.
All right. Branch.
I feel like he would probably want to go see Clump, but we did that last time. And so I'm trying to think of what he would do differently there. What the goblin equivalent of buying flowers and chocolate would be.
I think we did that 2 times ago. It was 2 downtimes. It was the same with like the wear everything. So it's been a few days since you're out there, and you have this new pipe that is like rat oriented. So your mind is definitely on maybe checking in if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, he'd probably go and show off the pipe. I think that's reasonable.
So Branch heads out there to the forest clearing where you last saw Clump. You encounter, actually, like heading out there, you kind of like come up behind a couple of guards who are kind of like heading out the same way and kind of like searching the forest, kind of looking around and you know, this seem like this is part of the kind of like guard search routine that they've been executing the last couple of days. So you come up behind them before they really notice you.
I don't think Branch would be suspicious enough to try to do anything other than go past them at this point. I am suspicious enough, but I don't think Branch would be. So he would probably just say, excuse me, Branch would like to get by. Can you please move? Branch wants to visit his friend.
And they turn to you and say, hey, this is a prohibited area. Everybody needs to go back to their lodgings right now. There's dangerous terrorists out there, and you need to get out of here. This is a high security area. We're looking for some suspects out here.
Yes, one of those suspects tried to blow me up. I am fine.
You know about that? Where you seen him?
Not since he threw a bomb at me.
Oh, you're the one. All right.
Well, there were like 5 of us.
Well, this is still a high security area. You got to go back to the town. We're clearing out the forest. Nobody's allowed to be out here.
If you find other people in the forest, what are you doing with them?
Well, they got to be brought in and questioned. There's no like loitering or vagabonds. We can't have bandits or any sort of riffraff out here. These are tough times, and we need to be secure.
You are going to put anyone in the forest in jail?
Well, for questioning, we got to be secure. We gotta take care of this. We can't have anybody, happen what happened to you happen.
Branch will grab his amulet, turn into a rat, and try to scurry past them.
Like straight up right in front of them.
Yep.
All right. Do a dex
as a rat.
Yeah, with advantage and like whatever dexterity or related skill. I think if you want to use something extra, I don't know. There's not really a animal being kind of roll. Stealth would be probably appropriate if you have any extra bonus on top of whatever rats have.
Okay, that's a 19.
Ooh, way to go. Yeah, so you just like straight up like, okay, and turn into a rat and scurry off. And one of them like grabs for you and like actually like kind of like grabs you as you're shrinking and like you sort of slip out of the guard's hand, and the other kind of goes for the rat and sort of like gets a hand on your tail, but you like slide out and get off into the bushes. And you kind of hear him say like, oh, we're going to have to write a report on this. I don't know how to.
I'll definitely go and try to find Clump and warn her.
So you head off, you scurry off, go to the clearing. You don't see anyone around there. Do maybe perception or investigation.
We'll go with perception. 21.
So you're able to sort of like take in the forest and the markings and tracks and stuff and kind of like track her and various rat droppings and rustlings of things and rat signs as also clump into a little ways off from the forest, a hollowed out tree where you find her hiding with a few rats.
Cool. I'll unrat.
Yeah.
Clump, it is Branch.
Oh, it is you. Please, you must hide here. They're looking for us. They have been the guards. They have been seeking us. They tried to take me.
Is Clump okay?
Yes. Clump is fine. Some of the rats have gone. I hope they are okay.
Oh, that is sad. The guards say that they are going to question anyone they find in the forest, which would be probably not too bad since you did not throw the bomb at me and my friends. But
someone threw a bomb at you?
Good. Branch is fine. I went to a bone ship. It was a whole thing.
This is much information for me to understand. I do not. I am glad that you are here.
Can we hide you somewhere, or you can? Can you turn into animals? We could hide. We could sneak you into the town and hide you from the guards in there.
Yes, I could do this, but I could not leave the rats. They are here and they need protection.
You kind of have a sense that like she has a soft spot for these rats, but like,
yeah,
do they need protection? Like they kind of come and go as they please. On the other hand, you do have this pipe that controls rats.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know that would help me in this situation. I could just, I mean, they could come with me. But that seems, looking at that, what that would actually mean is that they would effectively follow me as long as I'm playing it, which means I'm just going to lead an army of rats into town.
You do have that option. You do not need to use it, but Clump is hesitant to go without. She's hesitant to abandon her rat friends.
Okay. Here is what Branch thinks that you should do, Clump. You should stay here, and if the guards come, you should also turn into a rat and hide, and they will not think that you are a human.
Okay, will you be okay? Clump might like to go with you.
You want to come?
I am unsure. Do you want me to come? I don't want to be a bother.
Yes, Branch would like that very much. But if you will not leave the rats, I mean, the rats will be fine here. They are rats. We can make sure that they have food. And retcon, can we assume that Branch would have brought some food out with him for like another little picnic?
Yeah.
All right. Just so that I can then say, Branch has food. They can have this food and eat it until you are able to come back out here.
Okay. Let me talk to them.
Okay.
Squeak, 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 squeak. Okay, some will come with us, and some will stay here. Thank you.
We should not go directly by the guards because a lot of rats is probably scary for them. Even though rats are very kind, so we should.
Okay, rats, spread out and act natural.
Okay, Clump, you stay with me. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I will again turn into a rat and then lead Rat Clump, not like directly towards the guards, but like, you know, it's a forest, so
You know where they were. They're probably like poking around looking for a rat. You kind of like back near where you ditched them, so you're able to kind of like knowing that they're there. You're able to evade that area, head back to town. Takes a little bit longer, but
so once we're in town, like proper, I think turn back into goblins, then just walk to the tavern.
So you get into town, kind of like through the first layer of like town wall and buildings to more of a street, and some rats are kind of like following along. And you turn back into, in kind of like a dark corner, you turn back into goblins. Some of the rats with you are going after some cockroaches, which like they kind of like go for like delicious cockroach, and then like you see them like these cockroaches this cockroach is like at least an even match for a rat, and so that's starting to happen, and you're kind of aware of what's going on. Clump hasn't like noticed that. She's more looking inwards, looking for guards.
I don't think Branch was there when Randall and Tiburon discovered the super rats, so I doubt that it would have come up in conversation.
Yeah, probably not. You're aware of the super cockroach. You're unaware of the super cockroaches, but you're kind of noticing something's weird.
Clump, are your rat friends, are they sick? They are losing to an insect over there.
I do not know. That is, they like cockroaches very much. I do not know what is.
And she like grabs one and kind of separates it from the cockroach and has to like pull him apart and take care of him.
Rosemary, are you okay?
Squeak, 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 squeak. Oh, yes, it is very... and she throws that cockroach and it flies off, actually, like sprouts wings and like flies away.
Oh, they fly. This is very weird, very strange.
Yeah. We should find a safe place for the rats. Probably not in that hotel. Was it a hotel that they were in?
Yes.
Yeah. Probably not where they were before, but we could find them a place... maybe outside of the tavern.
And that's the moment that Randall comes around the corner with a giant cockroach on a leash, and all the rats take off. They're like scurry.
Oh, hey guys. Just taking my friend out for a walk.
Why do you have a very large roach?
Because it's cool. Look at him, isn't he great? You guys should like him. He's like a piece of nature. He's like natural.
Clump's going to do an animal handling roll on the giant cockroach and rolls a 20. Oh, so wow. Clump like gets down with the cockroach and kind of like talks to it and pet it and connects to it and bonds with it a little bit.
Yeah, see?
This is a very special cockroach. It is very large. Is this normal for the city?
No, I made him big with a special goop I found.
Okay, this seems like it might not be a part of nature's balance. I am concerned that things may become upset in the biome with this development, although it is a very nice cockroach.
If the roach is if this is the only big roach and the rest of the for some reason very strong roaches are here, then the diversity is probably fine.
Yes, if this is the only big roach, yes, that would be fine. This is a good point.
Yes. It's not like it can breed by itself.
You would not want to.
No.
Right, but like hypothetically, if one was loose out in the world, it's fine because it can't reproduce either.
Yes, just one, probably fine. But you have one here, and if those two roaches,
unless it was already pregnant when it was large, and then it would have many babies.
Is that how these work? They get pregnant?
Yes, all animals, most animals work in this way. Clump will explain. When a boy animal interacts with a girl,
I understand.
Girl,
it's
they have certain parts. Okay, yes.
It's holding the eggs inside?
I am pretty sure. Okay, but that did not happen, so it will be fine.
Yes, it definitely did not happen.
We'll say they all make their way back. No sign of the other giant cockroach. The rats don't follow.
And no one needs to know anything.
You're able to like sort of regroup up at the tavern.
Yeah, Sarsa's just been sitting there, literally sitting at the bar all day. She hasn't left. And she's just kind of staring into her cup.
You get a runner kind of like shows up, kind of like what happened before. Somebody comes to kind of like summon you back to into the castle and to the to the portal chambers.
Oh no, not another portal again. I can't stand that.
Are we all back when this guy shows up?
Yes.
I say we just get this over with.
Good morning, everyone. Let's What's the plan of attack?
Looks like we're getting sent through another portal, Sarsa says as she chugs the rest of her remainder of her tankard of ale and slams it down on the counter.
All right. Well, I think we're ready. It can't be any worse than the last adventure that we went on, where we saw some rather horrific images and dealt with reanimated corpses, boneless former allies. What a strange life we lead.
Yeah, look at my new friend. He's a big cockroach.
Stab it, Tiburon, grab your scimitar and stab this beast.
No,
No, he is a nice big roach. The only one of his kind. Or her kind.
All right, you say so.
I call him Papa.
How did Papa come to be? And he tells a little story. He's like, all right,
when they dead the cockroach.
well, it's good that you know what that goopy substance does, so perhaps it can work on, if it's semi-permanent, perhaps it can work on us if we need to become small or bigger.
Yeah, or it might find some other cool bugs to make big.
Sure. All right, so are we waiting on this, what was his name? Bartleby?
The runner delivered a note, and it looks to be actually written by Bartleby.
We can go visit him.
Oh, let's do that.
Right, let's go.
Branch, before we leave, Branch will introduce Clump to, what's her name? Cletus? Cletus. And say, this is Branch's friend Clump. Clump, this is Cletus. Can she please stay here and be safe?
Well, yeah, sure. A friend of yours is a friend of mine, so yeah, come on in. So actually, as you are kind of like collecting and getting ready to go, and Clump is introduced to Cletus, actually a bunch of the refugees, the kind of like recovered knights and friends of the knights, are actually like brought across the square and like brought into the inn, and a guard kind of like speaks to Cletus and sets up like, they're going to eat here. Can you take care of them? So some of those refugees looks like they're going to be put up in the inn. And as that happens, like Clump probably disappears herself because would be nervous about that. So whether or not you notice, you kind of like have a sense of like, you turn towards that and people start coming in. When you turn towards Clump, you don't see her, and she's probably in the form of some sort of creature that is going to be inconspicuous, because she's definitely not comfortable with all those people around.
No doubt. Yeah.
From there, you head on out, back through the palace and all, make your way back to the portal. Definitely strong presence of guards who are definitely also aware of you and who you are, so they let you through easily. And you make your way back to the portal, and Bartleby is there. And Bartleby has like a bandage around his head, and an arm is bandaged up, and he's limping a little bit. Definitely a little bit the worse for the wear, but he's sort of like buzzing around the portal, definitely like pulling on some things and like rewiring some things and working. The portal is definitely like sparking a little bit than it did previously when it was kind of in better shape, but like he's working on it. He says, "Oh, come on in. Yeah. We there's an urgent message for you. Come on in, and you two, you're gonna have to step out for a while. We'll be fine." Referencing to two of the guards that are in there, so they kind of like look at each other and then walk out, so you have a little bit of privacy. Welcome, and you're still here too. Welcome. You're Oliver, right?
Yes, this is correct. Hello, friend Bartleby.
Okay, well, are you okay? And I'm so glad to see you. They told me that you came back through with all these people, and I'm glad you were okay. You just disappeared with that explosion.
Yes, it was quite sudden, but I believe it might have we might have been taken into some sort of another plane of existence where these other knights were swept away sometime during the Great Turmoil, where what I believe has been referred to as the betrayal.
So
Many
not
of them gone missing, but they weren't actually. Well, they were, I guess, technically dead, but they weren't dead in a corporeal sense, or in a spiritual sense. just their bodies. But we will...
Okay. So that doesn't sound like the air realm or the earth realm or any of that, right? So you didn't.
It was
it's not where you went.
Strange. I believe. Would I know what the astral sea? I mean, would I kind of know that? I've
Probably.
never been there, but
You know stuff.
I've been around. Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe it's referred to as the astral sea.
Okay.
A great vastness of the cosmos.
He makes some notes in a little journal like, all right, so it didn't sound like you went to exactly where we were planning, but I'm going to blame that on the explosion and not so much our calibration. So I feel like we're good. We can do this again. Well, you've been here before. Let me here. And he sort of like, there's another sort of piece of equipment against one of the walls, and he pushes some buttons, and like a minor image type illusion of Sora appears there, kind of like hologram style, and looks at you all, and says, it's good to see all of you back. We've received and then she sees Oliver and just like stops dead and stares at him. We we've received a stress call, and we need to send you immediately. I know the portal there has not been as reliable as we might have wanted, but Bartleby assures me that he feels confident we can send you. You've been there before, and it worked very, very well, so we feel that the connection should be secure. We need you to return to the library. We've received a distress call from there, and Saeleas may be in trouble.
Saeleas? Oh dear.
Sora.
Yes?
I hope when I've told these fine knights that, I had a debt to pay to them, and I hope when this is all over, we will have a chance to reconnect and...
Oh, you have a debt to pay to them. Yes, you've got a debt to pay to them. You have to make up time. You have to spend time with them to pay your debt. Fine. That's fine. It's good to see you. It's good to see you there, and I'm glad to have you back joining the effort. You have a lot you could do a lot here. So
wonderful.
Please
Well,
enjoy that.
you
Pay your debt. And she disappears.
All right.
I suppose
Sarsa, pass that popcorn down. That's a good one.
suppose I deserve that.
Right.
So I got the library all calibrated here, and if you're ready to go.
Yes, let's go forth and let's go back. Let's go to this library.
Let's rip the bandage off.
Okay, here we go. And he throws one switch and walks around to the other side and throws another switch, and it kind of like powers up. It does that sort of thing of like energy of different types, kind of like night crystals are on one side, and the other kind of energy kind of flows together. And it's a little bit more like the first time you went in back at the Knight's headquarters, that like you see those two energies like flow together and kind of like spark and interact with each other.
And you're sure this is safe?
Oh, relatively certain. It pretty much works out well in the end most of the times. I mean, look what happened last time. Like there was an explosion and it worked out well. We got all these knights back. So
it did not work out well at all.
It powers up.
I look at the rest of them and like, is it safe?
Hey, you might turn into wood, but otherwise, yes.
What? I would what?
Who's going through?
I insight check everyone. Oliver's very suspicious.
Roll an insight check.
Sarsa just doesn't even hesitate, and she just kind of throws her mace over her shoulder and just says, "Let's do it."
Sarsa!
Sarsa's gone.
Yeah, Branch will
I rolled a 19, but...
Yeah, I mean, your insight of all of their reactions is like, well, no, it's not technically safe, but it's like safe enough. Like, it's complicated, but like... they feel like some like you get an accurate kind of like read on everybody's feelings of these things with just like it hasn't been life threatening, but some weird stuff's probably going to happen.
Yep.
Sarsa's gone already. First through.
Branch will jump in.
Branch.
All right. Sarsa jumps through. Okay, guys, let's get out of here.
Do you still have a giant cockroach with you, or are we leaving him behind?
No, he's coming with me.
Randall and the cockroach.
It's like
Randall and the Roach is the name of my new band.
Tiburon and Oliver are there.
Oliver looks at the area where that hologram of Sora was, sighs a big sigh. Another day. Shall we, Tiburon?
After you.
And Oliver will walk through.
And Tiburon goes.
And we'll call it there. Another exciting portal adventure.